Well, I'm listening. Like Fraser would say, right?
I'm just actually going to echo what Julie said, which is if we can lead in terms of doing our work with data and actually have the data we need to stimulate these discussions and facilitate action and ground us in the facts of what is indeed growing and where the opportunities are and the occupations are, I think that would be a huge win for the state.
Thank you.
Hi, I think also we can lead by what this young lady said here is by mentoringships and doing actual internships. If we can begin to do that in our youth, that's an area to capitalize on continual growth.
Great idea. Thank you.
I would say to continue to feed into professional clubs and organizations that are geared towards women.
Thank you.
I think that we can lead by expounding or framing the discussion on our traditional assets, such as the manufacturing in Ohio. We need to transition from what we have into what we hope to have. It cannot be sustainable to throw away all the years of experience and all the tools that we've had in the past and try to jump into something, unknown. We can build this and we can frame this discussion. And this is how Ohio can lead in that, because we know manufacturing better than anybody else. So it's about the workers and the employers working together.
That's an excellent point.
I think our strengths here in manufacturing and probably in the whole region that you represent are undoubtable and unquestionable. And I think we also need to expand, especially as we think of women's current training and how can they move into green economy careers rather than jobs. I loved that acronym. We also should be, or I encourage us to think outside of just technology careers and technology fields, that sustainability and the green economy and green workforce is about management and leadership and even creating new careers that we may not be aware of. Technology, of course, is going to be a huge part of our future. And there's also this people side about change that needs to be informed as well.
Thank you.
I have two comments. Good morning. I think, first of all, if we would make sure that the sources of information are well equipped to provide coaching when they're approached about opportunities, whether it's the unemployment counselor, whether it's the elementary principal, whether it's the college counselor, to make sure that they are well equipped with all the opportunities and information and the transition on how to get there. And then secondly, I think to try to take the stigma, and that's a hard word, but for right now that's the best I can do, off of the apprenticeship programs and not view them as an alternative because you can't succeed in a four-year institution, but you're choosing an apprenticeship program because you want to work with your hands and that's where your passion and desire is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I think that if there was a female czar in the green industry like we have in Cleveland with Andrew Watterson, it would help the ladies advance and move forward in the green industry.
Thank you.
We also talked about, and it's been reflected here, the adult learner. So many of the women who are in college now are non-traditional age students, and they've gone back to college because of the economic impact it has. Making sure that they understand that this is an option as well that will allow them to build a career and support their family, I think, is a critical message.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to volunteer for the Green Czar job. But more importantly, I think we strive hard to do diversity, but I don't think we do a good job doing diversity of ages. And I think we were chatting here that we don't have enough 18-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds at this event right now. And I think green economy jobs are going to be driven around technology, and I'm a firm believer that the whole messaging and the text messaging and the emailing, and it's a generational, and I think what happens is once you get a ceiling of managers, they don't learn from the new technologies, and I see that it's not, so instead of being hierarchical, we need to be more of a web, and so that's just my philosophy.
Let me ask you a question, and just kind of for you to think. And we have several representatives from the state, Holly Hinton here, and I think there was a director of from the governor's office. There you are. So what do you think that the state can do for women? I mean, they're here to listen too.
I think the state needs to be more helpful in assisting women who are heads of households while they're in their apprenticeship programs or other educational programs, so they can be successful in all aspects of their lives.
Thank you.
I guess my comment would be is a whole policy piece, not just related to green jobs, but women in general. For example, I think the eligibility rate for child care has dropped from 200 to 150%. So if you continue to put barriers in front of women to get jobs and education, and you continue making policies that erode away from things that help women get that way, regardless whether it's a green job or a job, we're not going to make it.
Thank you.
I think what we can do also is to encourage the Board of Regents, they had a representative here this morning, to actually recognize certificates so that universities will be encouraged to do this stackable certification for women, because people do carry along a lot of transferable skills. We want those to be recognized and to be converted to degrees that we can work with the business community then to accept and begin to work their job descriptions to recognize those new certificates.
Thank you. That's good.
I think it would be important to, for these single parents or women that's out there to receive funding while they're going to school. Apprenticeship program pays you while you learn. So somehow they need to be paid while they're in school and being retrained to help them along, not just with child care, but everyday care.
Thank you. That's very important.
Yes, and to piggyback off of what she said, I think partnering the educational system with the opportunity of women to get jobs, like the MC Squared STEM is a phenomenal model. Year-round schools, school day, more closely matching the work day or traditional work day will create more of a win-win, especially for single-parent households. And it's also a win for the students. As a country, we're lagging behind in STEM education. We need students to be in school more, and I think that would just be a huge win-win on both sides of the spectrum.
Thank you. Okay, 1 minute. Okay.